Hey guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Alicia, and in this video I'm going to show you how I made this super cute panda glow-in-the-dark tumbler. So if you're interested to see how I did this, stick around and I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to start by taping this cup off. I'm going to tape it in half, and how I'm going to use the half mark is the very center of this cup. Do you see that? It has this. So that's what I am going to use as my guide, and I'm going to stand up and I'm going to use my thick tape, and I'm going to use that as to how I'm going to cut this in half. And I think I'm running out of tape. All right, so I hope that this is enough. So I'm just gonna eyeball this and unstick paper. And I'm gonna go straight down the cup on the one side, and then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Tear that off a little bit and fold that over.
My turn. I heard it. New episode. My turn. My turn. So that was Kim. She said she got 3 bites over it.
Okay, hang on one second because I'm recording.
Hi, internet people.
That would be my husband.
Oh, they can't see me. Hi, internet people.
There you go. Hi.
Hey, do me a favor. Hit like and subscribe. And I was told that you will get 25 years of good luck if you do. I don't know if it's true, but hey, it's worth a shot.
All right. Thank you for that, baby.
Love you.
Love you. All right. So, and I'm going to just finish taping the rest of this off. And so I'm going to start with the white first, and I'm going to go ahead and spray paint this half the white color. And then I will tape that side off and spray paint my other 2 colors. So I'm not going to show you all that, but I just wanted to show you how I did the taping. Okay, so I'll be back in a bit when this is all spray painted. You know what? I just want to add that I did sand this before I started taping it, and because I was touching it with my hands, make sure you spray it with your 91% alcohol and wipe it down with either a coffee filter or a paper towel. All right, now I'm gonna go spray paint because it's nice and clean. All right, guys, so change of plans. So I spray painted this half, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glitter it. So I am gonna use a Krylon spray adhesive. I'm gonna spray it down, I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna glitter it, I'm gonna go right back outside, I'm gonna spray it again, glitter it, and then I'm going to let it dry. So I'm only going to show you the one-time glitter process, but I wanted to explain to you what I was doing. And I've done this before in one of my other videos. When I did the school bus, I sprayed it, glittered it, sprayed it, glittered it, let it dry. It's a really quick process to get 2 coats of a fine glitter. So all right, I will be back. All right, this is where I'm going to start trying to speed some things up, because this video, as of right now, is still 45 minutes long. So I do need to cut that down so I don't bore you guys to tears. But I've gone outside and spray adhesive the one side. I am taking my glitter, which is called Meltdown. It is a white glitter and will glow in the dark green. And I am sprinkling it all over. As soon as I get done this, I'm going to go outside. I'm going to spray adhesive. I'm going to glitter again, which I'm not going to show you the second time. Then I'm going to seal my glitter with Rust-Oleum's 2x Gloss Clear. Then I'm going to go in and do my first coat of epoxy. All right, guys, so I've got 2 coats of my glitter on, and I have sprayed it with 2 coats of Rust-Oleum's 2x Gloss Clear to seal it all up. I mixed about 20 mLs of Stone Coat's Quick Coat Epoxy. I did put in some ultrafine shimmer. I just decided that I wanted a little extra sparkle in there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get nice, good coverage. Making sure that everything is even. I do put the epoxy on with my hands because it can feel better on any dry spots. And then once I am done putting this on, I will peel, I will peel my tape off, and I will give this a torch, a quick torch with my torch, and that's too many torches in there. So sorry about that, guys. But all right, so here I'm peeling the tape off. I take my gloves off to do this because tape loves to stick to the gloves. Just be careful because you might get a little epoxy on your hands, which I did, but I don't have any reactions or allergies, so I'm okay with that. But you may just need to change your gloves to do that part. But so I go in and I torch with my kitchen torch and torch for bubbles over heat gun, which tends to move epoxy more. So I think that is it for this narration, and I'm gonna let this turn for 2 to 4 hours. Probably 2 hours it'll be workable, but it'll probably be more like 4 hours before I actually get back to this. All right, guys, I am back with this cup. So you saw me do the one half of it, and I didn't show you the other half because it was, you know, the same exact thing. So I taped off the white side, then I went and I spray painted this. It's lilac. It's the Rust-Oleum 2 times Rust-Oleum lilac. Spray painted that, and then I spray painted it. Spray adhesive, yes, spray adhesive I used. I'm like losing my train of thought. Glittered it, spray adhesive, glittered it. Then I went in and I epoxied this half of it. After I epoxied, I took the tape off. Then once this was cured, then I went over with another coat of epoxy over the whole thing. So now we're past that point, and I'm gonna put my decals on. So I am going to start with the bear, and so I printed this on printable vinyl, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel the extra off. Now, the only thing with printable vinyl is, you know, that it tears easily, so you have to be careful, and it doesn't like to be cut. It doesn't like intricate cuts. So, and there's, like, I just tore this. I actually just tore this a little bit. You gotta be careful when you're peeling it back, which direction you're going, depending on what the cut is. But that's the only thing, you know, that I don't like about this, is that it tears easily. So you've got to be really gentle with it, and you have to kind of go with the direction it's been cut. So like these little things on the side, these like little hair, fur, you see the fur, like the Cricut did not like cutting them. The vinyl did not like being cut there. All right, guys, so I'm going to speed this up again a little bit because I'm just applying decals. And first I am applying this panda decal on the purple side. I stand up and center it. I do everything by eyeball, so if you watch my other videos, you know I'm not real big on measuring. And I start from the center and then press my way out to make sure there's no bubbles, especially because this is kind of a bigger decal. Then I'm going to move on and I'm going to start layering my pinstriping. So I have white, which was cut at 0.2, I think it was 0.2, and then I did a purple holographic over top, which was cut at 0.1. I cut them longer than the cup so that I can trim at the top and the bottom, just below the edges, so that I can get the epoxy over and get a really good seal. So I do that for both sides. Over, you know, place the purple over the white and then place them both on the cup. I also do that with the name. I layered the name, and I layered the purple over the white before I peeled it off and placed it on the cup. All right, now that I'm done with my vinyl decals, I'm ready to do my water slide, which is this bamboo. It is a pretty big water slide, so I want to make sure I get it, you know, nice and wet, make sure it, you know, slides off really nice. So I'm going to soak it in lukewarm water. I find lukewarm water works better for me. You do you. Some people use cold, some people, I wouldn't recommend anything warmer because I would be concerned about the integrity of the water slide itself if it got too warm, but lukewarm works really, really well. And so my daughter's telling you a story about something she drew. And make sure you wet the cup so that the water slide, you know, can slide around once you apply it so that it's easier for you to position. I did mirror this and put it on face down so it was much easier to slide off. I tend to do it the other way, which I find to be harder, and I've become better at it, but this time I did do it face down, and you know, it was just so much easier for the size of this decal. Make sure when you pull it out of the water, you pull the water slide up a little bit off the paper. That's what you're going to put your hand on to hold it when you slide the paper down. So after I get that, after I get that applied, I am going to just make sure it's centered where I want it. I'm going to press some of the extra water out with my fingers. Some people do it with a squeegee. I just do it with my fingers and a paper towel. The paper towel takes up the excess. If you find any stubborn water bubbles in there, you can use your weeding tool to pop the bubbles. I promise you'll never see the little tiny holes, and it works beautifully for getting out the extra water and extra air pockets, because water slide is kind of delicate, so you don't want to tug on it or rub it too much. So that's where I'm showing you. Just use your weeding tool and just poke it, and then just press on there, and that will take it out. You will need to let this dry for at least an hour before you go over it with your epoxy. You do not need to seal it with anything. You can just go right over it with epoxy. Alright guys, so my water slide is dry, and I am going to give this a coat of polyacrylic before I put my epoxy on. And the reason why I'm doing the polyacrylic is not because the water slide needs it, but it's because the vinyl, the holographic vinyl does need it. So if I'm going to put it in there, I might as well just put it all over. Okay, so my cup has been drying for about a half an hour, and I'm going to come in now with Alumilite's Quick Coat epoxy, and so this will dry, it'll be workable in about 4 to 6 hours, and that's what I want, because next after this I am going to go in and start with my panda paws before I do my final coats of epoxy. So I'm going to spread this on nice and even with a gloved hand. Some people use silicone brush. I prefer a gloved hand. I feel like I have better control over it, and I feel like I can feel for dry spots, wet spots, light spots, heavy spots, but you do whatever is comfortable for you. I will then torch it, let it turn for 4 hours, and then I'll be back when I am ready to start the paw prints. Alright guys, speeding you up again. I'm trying to shave some time off of this video. So I have my one coat of the Alumilite Quick Coat, which is cured enough to work with, and it's pretty cured. So it's not even tacky at all. So I'm gonna go in and with my paw prints, and I print this template up using Duct brand shelf paper. And so you can use any removable vinyl that you want as a template. I just prefer to use that. I feel like I get more for my money. And I did measure it when I did this in Cricut Design Space. I measured it out to about 9 inches in diameter, which is the dimension of the cup. But I did have to make a few adjustments, and you may have to too if you do the footprints along the bottom like that. You know, obviously if you're gonna have them going up and down the cup, you're just gonna rearrange as it suits you. But for me, I decided I was gonna do the paw prints down at the bottom. They were just gonna circle the bottom, and so when it got to the ends for them to meet, I had to kind of cut some pieces out so they weren't overlapping. So once I've got that down, I'm just gonna press it down, make sure there's no gaps or seams, and then I'm gonna go ahead and weed out the rest of the paws while it's on the cup. It's just gonna be so much easier to do that than trying to weed it on when it's still on the paper. You can do whatever's easier for you. I found that this works the best as far as getting all that extra out of there. So now that I have done all of the weeding, I did have one that for some reason it didn't cut very well, and so I kind of ruined it when I was trying to weed it, so I had to print a new pawl and patch that in there. So again, these are just some of the things that you might run into. I had these little white stickers all over my hands. Those little claws were just like such a bear to weed. Like, I didn't realize that I was going to be there for like a half an hour just trying to get all these little claws out, and then another 10 minutes trying to get them all off my fingers. Kind of crazy. Dog paws are so much easier, but I don't regret it for a second, because these are so super cute, and you know, it really just made the cup. I am now ready to start doing my paw print. So I've got my template down, and I am going to do something I haven't done before. I'm going to do the glow in the dark powder, and I'm going to mix it in with the tack it. So I don't know if this, at this point when I was doing this, I didn't know if it was going to work underneath the UV changing color powder. So it was purely experimental. It did work out, and I'm so happy that it did. So it's really cool because the paw prints, not only do they glow, but then they change purple in the sunlight or any UV. So I just mixed it up with the end of my paintbrush to get it all nice and mixed up. And so I look for like a hint of green, because the glow powder does have like a hint of green. So when I'm mixing up, I want to make sure that there's a hint of green, so that I know I've gotten enough saturation in there so that I'm going to get a nice good glow. This glow powder is really good. It's pretty bright, and it has a pretty good lasting life. And, you know, of course, like I link everything, I'll link that down below. So I'm going to do this 3 times. I'm going to do 3 coats of the tack it and the glow powder, or the UV changing powder. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to do my tack it on all the paws, and I'm going to go all the way around the cup. When I'm done going all the way around the cup, it should be dry enough that I can start my UV powder. And then I'm going to pounce that UV powder on top. And then I am going to come back around. I am going to do this 2 more times. So in total, it's going to be 3 coats of the tack it, 3 coats of the UV powder. Will it work with less? I don't know. I just found, you know, I saw somebody say do 3 coats, and that's what I've been doing. So it worked really well. The glow is really great, and the UV change was really great too. So I'm going to just stick with the 3 coats. It's a little bit of time consuming, but it's worth it in the end. Oh, and also, I just want to explain the reason why I'm using tack it over anything else. So tack it, Aleene's tack it over and over dries tacky. So, and it has to be the over and over, just not like tacky glue. Because you want it to dry tacky so that that powder sticks to it. You know, if you go in with your, if you go in with Mod Podge, it's not going to dry tacky. It's going to dry, you know, and it's not going to be sticky. And also, it's going to take longer to dry. So the Aleene's tack it over and over dries really fast. It dries tacky, and that's what your powder is going to stick to. So, so I just wanted to explain that really quick, why I was using the Aleene's tack it over and over. So I've made it all the way around the cup, and as I said, by the time I got back around to the first paw, it was dry enough and sticky enough now. It was dry, but sticky. So weird, I know, right? You'd think dry, but like this is, you know, kind of like an opposite. You've got to like really wrap your head around it. Anyway, so I'm taking my powder, and I will link that down below. I ordered it from Woody's Goodies, and as I said, I'm going to do this 3 times before I go in and seal it. Alright guys, so I'm finished with putting all of my powder on and my glue, and I want to clean my brush up. And so how you do that, or how I do that, or how you can do that, is I'm just going to spray some of my 91% alcohol in a medicine cup, and I'm just going to do this, and wow. So you can see all my mica powder is coming out. I don't usually clean my brush, but there's a little bit of glue on the end. So you don't want that to dry. That's how I ruined my last brush. So, and I tried to clean it up after the fact, and it didn't work out really well. Wow, there's a lot of stuff coming out of here. So this is a good way to clean your brush. And that's good for now. I just want to make sure I got the glue off. I'm going to do a better cleaning later, because I can see how brown and gross all of that is. It's not gross, it's just mica powder, but because I just used a bronze color mica powder on it. And so for this, I don't want to waste it, so I'm gonna stick it in a plastic bag and use this soon so it doesn't dry up on something else. And this would be great for Halloween. So Halloween tumblers, you know, doing stencils and doing the glow in the dark would be really cool. All right, so I am going to gently peel off my stencils. I'm just gonna grab it with my fingernail. If you don't have a fingernail, just grab it with your whatever tools you have to weed. I have my weeding tool, and then I like tweezers. I use tweezers a lot. Alright, so these came out really, really good. So you can see them right now, but once you put epoxy over it, it's gonna fade that out. So you're not gonna really see them. So you can see them really well now, but when you epoxy them, you're not going to be able to really see it. So I am going to clear coat these. I'm gonna spray these with Rust-Oleum's 2 times gloss clear before I epoxy. And you just want to make sure that any excess powder is off. So the way you're really going to check that is you're going to take this into a dark room and you're going to put your UV light on it, and you're going to see if you got a good glow or not. It is daytime right now, and even if I shut off my light, you're not going to probably see the change. And like here's, all right, my UV flashlight. Let's see if you can see any of this. I don't think you can because it's too bright, but I mean, you can see the purple. So you can see the, so this is where you can see your excess glow powder, and that's how you're gonna clean it off. But how cute is that? So the glow in the dark, I don't know if that worked. No idea. I'm gonna have to take this into a dark room and see. I can see like the speckles in my light, like when I shine my light on. I don't know if you can see that. I do see some glow, but all right, so I'm going to clean this up before I spray it because I don't want to spray that excess. Oh, you can see the glow in the dark. You can kind of see because the cup glows in the dark too. All right, I'm gonna be back in a bit. Oh, it'll probably be important to mention how I'm gonna clean this up. I am gonna use 91% alcohol and Q-tips because I want to have complete control over where I'm cleaning it. And I'm not going to saturate these Q-tips. I'm just going to make them damp. So then when I see my excess spots on here, I'm just going to gently wipe it away because you don't need a lot. All right, so that's how you go ahead and clean this up. And it's a controlled clean. Just make sure your Q-tip is not soaked and dripping, because you really don't need that much to get this excess off. All right, now I'm gonna finish this. After I was done with my 3 coats of my UV color changing powder, I went in and sealed it with 2 coats of Rust-Oleum's matte clear. It doesn't matter what you use. You can use matte clear. You could use the 2 times gloss. It doesn't really matter, but that's just what I used. And I let that dry for about a half an hour, and now I'm coming in with my epoxy. My first coat of epoxy over these paws is going to be my Stone Coat's Quick Coat, and in 2 hours I'll come back and do the final coat of epoxy with my regular epoxy. Just make sure you use your kitchen torch and pop all those bubbles, and then I will be back for my closing remarks. Alright guys, this cup is done and it's so super cute. These glow in the dark glitters are amazing. Amazing. You need a set in your life. Becca is one lucky little girl to get this cup. This glow in the dark is so pretty, and you know, even when it's not glowing, it's absolutely gorgeous. She loves pandas, and those feet, those glow in the dark, and then color changing to purple. I wanted to keep this cut for myself. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye.